Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're doing well. This is chemistry, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we want to look at chemical formulae and equations. This subtopic is very important in chemistry. You have to understand because it is applied in almost all the topics. You have to understand. I'll be slow in explaining some of the key terms and the entire process. So please follow. Before we could look at the actual subtopic here, chemical formulae and equations, let me remind you of some key terms that are used, or the key terms that we'll be using in as far as this is concerned. We start with the particulate nature of matter and the atomic structure. The particulate nature of matter and the atomic structure. That is a grade 10 topic. The particulate nature of matter, the first thing that you need to understand there is the term matter. Is the term what? Matter. We define matter, ladies and gentlemen, as any substance that occupies space and has mass. Any substance that occupies space and has got what? Mass. As long as those two terms are there, for as long as it is able to occupy space and has got mass, then it qualifies to be matter. Now, matter is made up of time particles, time and separate particles, which are called atoms. Time particles that make up what? Matter. Hence, we define an atom as the smallest particle of an element. Smallest particle of an element. Biology students would compare atom to the cell or cells. A cell. It's only that cells are in living organisms. Atoms are not in living organisms. Atoms are in elements. When you are defining cell, you say basic unit of every living organism. But one atom is the basic or smallest particle of an element that makes up every element we may think of. Let's say copper. For us to say copper is made up of what? Atoms. Hope we are together on that. When we join, we combine two or more atoms, of which they may be the same or different. We come up with, or we make what we call molecule. Molecule. It's a combination of two or more atoms, of which they may be the same or different. What we mean by this is, if we, for example, we take an atom, let's say we take oxygen. It's an atom because it's an element. So, if we take that, then we try to combine oxygen here plus another oxygen. We are going to come up with what? A gas, oxygen gas, from the two combination. You see that? So this is what we are referring to our molecule. If an atom is charged, what we mean by charge is it can either have positive or negative, that is being charged. So if an atom is charged, that atom or element will be called ion. I think you've heard of this word before. So when we say ion, we mean charged atom. Take for example, we can have, I'm sure you've seen this kind of thing before. We can have sodium with a positive here, a plus. That means this is charged. And the reason of charging is all about bonding Okay, it's about bonding. We want to bond, we want to make compounds, for example. If we want to come up with compounds, of which we'll look at that later on, where equations and formula will be looked at. When we bond, one, of course, must be positive, the other one must be negative for us to come up with a compound. You see that? So now, a charged atom rather, is called ion. Let's get back to the structure of an atom. The structure of an atom. When you are looking at cells, you came up with the structure of the cell, or the basic parts that a cell has. It can either be animal cell or plant cell. We talked about the cell membrane, we talked about the nucleus and other parts. But the basic one, when we say basic, we are referring to those parts that are in both animal and plant cell. Okay? Now, the basic structure of an atom, we are looking at parts that are in all the elements: copper, calcium, oxygen, any other element you may think of. The structure of an atom, ladies and gentlemen, looks like this. Talking about an atom here now. Okay? So an atom has got what we call nucleus, just like a cell. It has got nucleus. Okay? Then inside the nucleus of an atom, we have what we call protons. We also have what we call neutrons. So the neutrons and protons are inside the nucleus of an atom. What surrounds the nucleus of an atom? What evolves or surrounds the nucleus of an atom? These we call them electrons. So electrons, ladies and gentlemen, evolves or surrounds the nucleus of an atom. The ring you are seeing